No one has been given an unalterable attitude. You can change, but it's up to you. Hey friends, welcome to my second podcast. We're still in the series of Attitudes That Attract Success by Pastor Wayne Cordeiro. I would highly recommend for you to have this book, but if you don't want, you can just listen to my podcast. By the way, thank you so much for the support on my first podcast. I truly appreciate it. If some of you who are listening right now weren't able to listen to my first podcast yet, please do so. Alright, moving on. Today, I will be encouraging you to believe that you can change. We can change, but that is if we want to. A new attitude doesn't happen on its own. You must develop it, and the sooner you begin, the better. Some of us hide behind the excuse that we just can't change. We've been this way when we were a kid. Many times, we won't change until the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the pain of changing. Pastor Wayne illustrated this truth by sharing a story about a large armored battleship which was slowly making its way through uncharted waters in a fog-shrouded bay. The captain noticed what appeared to be the light of another ship directly in his path. Quickly, he grabbed his megaphone and shouted,
"This is Admiral Smith of the United States Navy. Steer yourself 10 degrees south. We are on a collision course, and I am coming through with priority orders."
Through the fog, he heard a faint but audible reply.
"This is Seaman 4th Class Jones. You steer yourself 10 degrees to the north."
The admiral said to himself,
"This guy is a Seaman 4th Class, and I'm an admiral. Who in the world does he think he is?"
Turning up the megaphone a few notches and using a stronger tone of authority, he barked,
"This is Admiral Smith of the United States Navy. You steer yourself 10 degrees south. I am coming through."
Through the fog came the same reply.
"This is Seaman 4th Class Jones. You steer yourself 10 degrees north."
The admiral's anger flared at the young man's insubordination.
"I said, this is Admiral Smith. Steer yourself 10 degrees south immediately. I am a battleship."
Through the fog, the unwavering voice replied,
"This is Seaman 4th Class Jones. Steer yourself 10 degrees north. I am a lighthouse."
Our attitudes are like the rudder of a ship. You will either be ruled by the rudder or you will be ruled by the rocks. I can relate with these two characters in the story. Sometimes I am the admiral. My position, achievement, and accomplishments could make me proud that I don't want to adjust to anyone or anything. And sometimes God would also allow me to be the lighthouse keeper, His instrument of guidance and encouragement for people to change. If we refuse to change, we're in trouble. If we think we can't change, we won't have the faith to change, even if it is possible. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 9 verse 29, "According to your faith will it be done to you." If I don't have the faith that I can change or that my situation can change, then it won't. On the other hand, if I believe I can change, I can follow Jesus. I can be a better person, a better employee, a better daughter, a better friend. God can use me. Then the Lord can say, now you've got the faith. A good attitude releases the Lord to do His work. If I say I can't, then I won't have the faith to cooperate with God's attempts to bring wholeness and healing to my life. My poor attitude will actually sabotage God's work in me. Do you believe you can change? You must believe you can. God is able. The question is, are you willing? God has a great plan for our lives. In Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, He declared, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." What an amazing plan God has for us. Isn't it time to believe what God believes? To declare what God declares? That's called faith. And our attitude is a direct barometer of our faith. Developing an attitude that attracts success is an inside job. You see, having a godly attitude does not mean you will never face problems or storms. There will be storms, but it will be your attitude toward those storms that drives you in one direction or another, not the storm itself. Your attitude is the set of your sail. Each of us will be surrounded with problems at times, and we will often find ourselves steeped in hot water. But remember that the event will soon pass. The event is temporary, but the effects of how we respond in the midst of the event will last much longer. A poor attitude in the midst of the storm can cause the storm to rage inside for a lifetime. We will always face storms in life, but let us remember, never allow an outside storm to become an inside storm. Have you tried fishing? I did. The first time was when I was in college on the farm of one of my first year classmates. I hope at least one of them is listening right now. Hi guys, miss you. Anyway, there is something about fish that amazes me. Even though they have spent their entire lives in the ocean, salty ocean, why is it that when we cook it, we still add some salt into it, right? Well, because none of the salt outside gets in. Amazing, right? What's more amazing is if God can do that for fish, He can do that for each of us. Each of us has been placed in the middle of a world filled with worldly perspectives and philosophies. But here's the wonder of God's design. Although we live in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, none of the crooked perverseness is supposed to get inside us. Our attitude will either protect us or defeat us in the midst of storms. So let us develop our attitude well. Here's the truth. There will always be storms, problems in life, but whenever we speak of problems, always speak of them as changing. When someone says, "You have a problem," our response should be, "Yes, I do, but it's changing." Someone else says, "Well, you've got financial problems." Our answer, "Yes, but that's changing." And when someone says, "You've got bad breath," you can reply, "Yeah, but it's changing." When you speak of problems as changing, you see a hopeful light at the end of the darkened tunnel. This is a positive indicator that you are growing. We will see problems everywhere, but let us not allow our eyes to remain focused on them. Let us look for answers, and that's what we will see. Develop a new perspective, a fresh view of problems. Solve them, don't dwell on them. Friends, thank you so much again for taking the time to listen. I hope I did not waste your time. Let us continue to grow together. Always remember, you're worth it, you are wonderful, and you are loved. Thanks again. This is Reg. Bye.